Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to another character pattern video, and this time we'll be breaking down Bardock. Not breaking down, analyzing Bardock, the father of Kakarot and the rebel who stood up to Frieza and his tyrant ways of ruling, even though they were tyrants themselves. But whatever, yeah. So we'll be breaking down Bardock, the powerhouse of season 1 and season 2, but not really season 3. Not really season 2, but even then he was a powerhouse anyways. A really solid character. So as part of the format, we'll first go through his specials, then his neutral, then his buttons, then neutral, and then his assist. So let's get into the video. So the first special will be quarter-circle forward attack button, that is his rebellion spear, the lariat as we like to call it in the FGC. It's basically this move, rebellion spear. It is accessible both in the air and in the ground, and basically the light and the heavy variant both are basically a lunging attack that goes almost full screen. The light version doesn't quite go full screen, but it actually goes 90% of the screen. So for example, from here it's like that. It's very fast. It's almost like from close it's about 11 frames. Wait, as you can see, it's like 10 frames to 11 frames, somewhere around that. The heavy variant is actually faster, with it being 8 frames when up close, somewhere about 8 to something frames, 8 to 11 frames. That is, it is the faster variant of the two, and it goes full screen and crosses up on hit and on block. The medium variant is a bit different. It is the diagonal variant of the lariat. It basically is an anti-air move that you can use to anti-air people and also go up in the air. It goes quite far in terms of screen place. It's basically one jump, but you also cover at some distance. So it's pretty good, and you have air options available after that. So that it is a pretty good move for anti-air, but do not use it to anti-air super dash. You're gonna see some weird stuff happening over there. But yes, and all of them are available in the air with the same properties, except the medium variant. The medium variant actually then goes down like a dive kick. Oh, like Bluku's dive kick, I would compare it to, because it has a much more steeper angle like Bluku. And yeah, that would be his first special down. On to the next special, the Raging Meteor. It is basically the quarter-circle back any attack button. This is his spin move. The last hit of this move is a overhead, so it's pretty good for people that doesn't yet know that is an overhead. All of them can be used for a true block string. Like, all of them are fast enough that you can use them in a true block string, and they can also be used for sliding knockdowns. Like that. And yeah, this move is pretty good for ending block strings and then timing your assist, because the move is actually so active that you have much more ease in controlling calling your assist and making it true on block. And it's like all of them are really fast. Like all of them range from like 11 to 9 frames, 12, 8 and 7. So all of them range at around this, and they're pretty fast. They don't really travel that much. Is that all you got? As you can see, like it doesn't have that much travel distance, and they don't have any kind of invincibility. So do not use them for like trying to snipe out super dash or stuff. It's mostly a combo enders, and like so they're just mostly useful for block strings like this. So it's much more easier instead of like going for this. So yeah, that's why it's mostly block string and combo enders. So on to his last special, the Tyrant Lancer. It is quarter-circle forward special. This is not applicable in the air. This is Bardock's who are getting plus frames, even by not using any kind of meter or something. It is somewhere about 26 when you're not charged, or yeah, it's somewhere about 26 frames when not charged. You can charge it and make it much more delayed, which is about 48 frames, I believe. Yeah, so it takes about 48 frames when you charge it. This is the charging is mostly allows you to catch people's reflect if they reflect preemptively, and also it gives you a much more higher damage and a greater wall bounce, and it gives you a greater wall bounce, plus you can if you can. And of course also it is a medium starter, basically a TOD starter. If you actually get the full charge, then you're practically getting a TOD. But damn, Bardock's light jab and spacing is actually kinda nice. And yes, so that will actually conclude all of his specials onto his buttons. So Bardock was and still is known for having some great buttons. He has a lot of good normals that reach very far, like having a really good range on his 2L, good medium range, then having that ridiculous auto combo that is -4 on block. Why is an auto combo -4 on block? So basically, if you catch people in the air, you can still be safe and you can actually keep pressing buttons. So yeah, so the frame data for each will be now shown. That is -4, his jab -3, LL is -5, that is also -4, this +5. These are the only buttons that are unsafe. Even then his heavy is only -5, and then he has T+ to keep it safe, which is -4 on block. And all of the specials that you can cancel into are also safe, -5, and all of them are the same. All of them are -4, so that is pretty good. And yeah, so basically Bardock is all around a really good stagger, has a really good stagger pressure. There is a stagger that where you can actually space yourself out really well, like doing a 2LL stagger into a 2M. This spaces you out really well, and like almost no jab in the game will reach you, I think, except maybe Vegito or Zebroli's standing L will reach because it has a greater range, but you have the option of the ducking that, as you can see. So you can duck it and go below it. So you can then punish it like this. So if you're spaced out correctly, then you can then punish it with another 2M. Wait. So you can do stuff like that because you're actually much far away from them. For almost every jab, unless they match the full auto combo, which scrubs will do, but even then you can actually go away with a lot of stuff. So stuff like that is what makes Bardock shine. Also, his medium normally when you connect it from like point blank, it's -4. But as the spacing out that I showed you, then if you actually space it out like that, then you actually get a much more advantageous frame data. So hence you can actually do stuff like this. This is pretty good. He actually goes into reverse, and then you can go for Dragon Rush or something across up or something along that line. You can keep your you can keep an assist to make it safe, but other than that, this spacing out is really a chef kiss, to be honest. Like stagger pressure is his best friend. You can always do stuff like this, or mostly his full blockstring is something along like this. So you can always mix it up, do stuff like this, but remember that the Tyrant Lancer can be mashed on. If they mash, then the Tyrant Lancer will be beaten every time. So be careful on how you use the Tyrant Lancer. And like, yeah, so basically some true blockstring would be like this. This is one of the options. Or this, you can also do this. It's the same basically. That wasn't a true blockstring. The assist part would have been reflected. Hence why people always go for this variant, where you end with the meteor spin to end the blockstring, because it's much more easier to connect, because you don't have to call the assist immediately. You will call the assist after you have done it and the last hit. So it's much more easier to time your assist and make it true. Henceforth, you should end by doing this. His air buttons are really good, like except the jump medium. The jump medium is actually kind of bad. The heavy has actually a lot of active frames, so it can be used for a lot of meaty setups and stuff, like and also you can cross it up, but it doesn't have that big of a hitbox, so don't try that. But yeah, you can snipe a super dash and stuff. You can also cross up using your medium, but you have to time that, or if you want same side, then you have to delay it a little bit. But since Goku's standing up, it will hit. But if he was crouched, but when they're crouched, it actually doesn't hit a lot of the times. It will whiff if you auto time it, but with timing you can actually make it so that you have to time this button to make it sure that it hits actually on block, so that it hits crouching opponents. So yeah, that would be his buttons done. Onto his neutral. So onto Bardock's neutral. Bardock's neutral in a nutshell would be something like this. The end. Okay, no, I'm not just gonna give. So yeah, he has a standard key blast of 13 frames up close, and that is -4, and you can spam it because it's only 13 frames, so it has a good plus frame. And also you can always do stuff like this. You can immediately cover your distance by doing something like this. Even from when you're full screen, if you actually manage to hit them, then you can actually confirm using your heavy rebellion spear and into a full confirm. You can after you still need to vanish it, unless you're back against the corner or something, then you can actually convert without needing extra meter. It's mostly impossible to like convert of key blast using the light variant. If you want to convert using a key blast, mostly people just spam doing this. This is the best option to go for your neutral. In the air, however, he has a lot less tools. Even in the air, it remains the same. You spam the lariats and then call assist to keep yourself safe, something along this line. Basically, it's something basically like this. It will always be like this. The air kill blast isn't that really good, because the angle is a little bit steep. So even from a super jump, full screen, it doesn't reach the enemy's position. But if you go a little bit forward after super jump, then you can hit them. But then you don't have anything to pair it with. But if you want to take control of the airspace, mostly you'll just go do stuff like this. But rely more on the heavy variant, because it actually beats super dash and everything alike. So rely more on the heavy variant because it beats super dash like clean. Like as you can see, it beats super dash clean. Like doing this one is a little bit much more harder. As you can see, like there are angles where this one works, but this one works most of the time. But he also has really good buttons where you can like use the jab and stuff, because the jab has a good hitbox. You can use that for his JL has a good hitbox. You can use that to catch. You can use that to catch super dash, but you'll need timing and stuff. The JM not really, because it's a double animation, so you won't be able to do anything. You can use heavy because the heavy is pretty active and like it has a good hitbox. So yeah, other than that, I don't think there is anything to like discuss regarding Bardock's neutral. There is a medium variant, but it's mostly useless when you're trying to control neutral. But of course, preemptively you can do stuff like that and then catch them off guard into something like this. This can be pretty good. But other than that, yeah, that would be his neutral in a nutshell. And yeah, I'll be moving on to his so now I'll be moving on to his assists. His A assist is the Rebellion Spear. It's basically it's a very fast assist with like 20 frame startup, and it actually has a decent amount of block stun of 27 frames. It's 2 frames less than a beam assist, so it's a really good assist. It's very fast and like you can easily catch people off guard, but it doesn't reach full screen. It only reaches mid screen, so like the maximum range would be over here. Yeah, that's the maximum range. So like it isn't like really, it doesn't have that much range, but it's mostly used for stuff like, so mostly you can do stuff like that for combo extensions. And yeah, other than that, I don't really think you have that much of block stun to like actually do that many stuff, because 27 frames isn't that good, but it's good enough, I'd say. And it has like decent hit stun for you to like do stuff. Yeah, it has decent enough hit stun, I'd say, but it would depend on how much you like it. But it doesn't have that much hit stun. And yeah, that would be his A assist. On to the star assist is the Tyrant Lancer, the infamous Bardock B. So this is basically Tyrant Lancer, the quarter-cycle forward special attack. It's look at that block stun. It's 46 frames of block stun, and it starts up at 35 frames. It's pretty fast. It starts up on mid-screen, so you can use it to control neutral as well, because that's you have to be like somewhere around 80% of the screen for this assist to reach, or a little bit farther. Yeah, somewhere about 75% of the screen you can use it. So like it's pretty good. It comes out mid of the screen, and then it's pretty fast. Keeps the opponent on a lockdown. They have to be on a lockdown for a long time. So as you could see, like all of it is like true Blockstring, even though I've set it to guard first only. So yeah, this is a really good assist. Has a really good hit stun. Wow, I could even yeah, you can do stuff, a lot of stuff like this. Like this assist is pretty good. And yeah, so I'd say this should be your main pick, I'd say. But if you have a different style, then of course feel free to do anything. So at last, the C assist. The C assist is a tracking assist both vertically and horizontally. Every C assist tracks horizontally, but it also tracks vertically. And it's basically his medium variant of the Rebellion Spear, and basically it comes down from above, and it has 35 frames. Not it's better than most beams and stuff. So it has a good enough hit stun. Like as you could see, it has a good enough hit stun. It also, of course, as I said, it also tracks mid-air. So wait. So yeah, it will also track mid-air, as I said, but the tracking isn't that good. It can definitely be avoided. As you could see, it can definitely be avoided using super jump maneuver, or so don't rely on it that much. But it has enough tracking, so of course combo extensions become much more easy. As I said, combo extensions become much more easy, and yeah. So you know how CSs work, their cooldowns and everything. So it'll be up to you if you prefer it being tracking or like the cooldown over Bardock B. I'd say his B assist is the best selection of the assists. And yeah, that would cover everything about Bardock. So final thoughts being like, Bardock is a pretty honest character. He's very straightforward. He's easy to learn. Everything about him is very easy. You don't have to do anything complex other than spam some moves. He just goes across the screen in an instant into like something like that. So he's very straightforward. Nothing about him is that complex. Even the combo routes are also very straightforward. You just have to worry about the medium animation and then optimizing that. It doesn't take that much time to get used to it. And also then learning some combos on the screen, which I will share with all of the combos that I know. And yeah, so hopefully you guys found it interesting, found it helpful for you. You can easily pick up Bardock. I hope something helped with what I showed you. And yeah, so I'll be moving on to the combo section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the combo section. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.
Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. It's over! Too slow.